Hello and hi, I bid to Dr. Mohammad Ekal. Today we are from Group 3 would like to do presentation based on filtration. Before that, let me introduce my group members first. Khairul bin Abdullah, matrix number 1968265. Kavinisna Subramania, matrix number 9537. And me, myself, Tanisha Krishnan, matrix number 197742. And lastly, Mariam Salah Hamid El Hindi, matrix number 200043. Next. So this presentation will consist of introduction, working principles, materials and method, advantages and disadvantages, and lastly conclusion. Next slide. So before that, let me give a quick intro about the filtration system. Filtration system is a process of removing harmful and additional particles, for example, like pathogens and also dirts, including chemical and biological contaminants, from water to produce a clean water. But in this experiment, we will focus on filter press. Filter press is an equipment used to separate the liquid and also solid using the pressure filtration. In the filter press, the slurry will enter and dewatered under the pressure. The filter press also designed according to the amount and also type of the slurry used. And lastly, this filter press mainly consists of frame, filter plates, manifold, and also filter cloth. So I will pass it to Cairo now to explain more detail about the working principle of filter press.
Okay, thank you, Tinisa. So next, let us proceed to working principle. So first, let us look at the working principle of filter press water filtration. The water filter presses uses pressure filtration method. Slurry is pumped into the machine so that the solid are distributed evenly. And third, the filtrate will exit solid buildup on the filter cloth, forming the filter cake, and the filter will exit the filter place through the corner pot into the manifold to yield the clean filtered water. So next is the working principle for our homemade water filtration. So our homemade water filtration consists of several layers, which is gravels or small stones, sand, and also activated charcoal. The small stones or gravel is purpose to filter out large sediments, while sand is to remove the fine impurities, and activated charcoal is to remove the contaminants or impurities that contain in the water. So next, I will pass it to Irfan.
Okay, now I will explain on the materials and methods that we use for our filtration system. Okay, for our home water filter systems, we use a plastic bottle. There's a ordinary plastic bottle with the large one for the 1.5 liter. Then we use a piece of cloth, large stones, small stones, sand. These three components are the most important part in our water filter because it is the components that will filtrate or preventing the contaminants in the water, in the dirty water that we use to remain in the filter, so the water filtered out will be clean. Then we also use a cutter to cut the plastic bottle. Now move on to the methods. Firstly, the plastic bottles will be cut into two pieces. The plastic bottles we cut, it is not into the same length. It actually from the top of the bottle to the point where we cut is almost 2/3 of the bottle. So for the long part, we can put the material and all the components that is enough for the filtration system. And the bottom of the bottle that left will be used as a container to contain the water after we filter the dirty water. Then after we cut the plastic bottles, we put a piece of cloth, just a small piece, at the lid of the bottle, then we close the lid. After that, we start to arrange all the components, starting with the large stones, then a layer of sand. Then we arrange small stones above the sand, and then another layer of sand to increase the efficiency of the filtration. And then we start testing our water filter system, and we pour the dirty water that was collected. And the dirty water is very dirty. It contain the soil, the sands, and many other things that we can clearly see that the water is very impure. So after we pour the water into our filter system, we can observe that the water being filtered is at the end as a clear view. It is transparent. It is not anymore contaminated. Okay, next slide. Okay, to give more understanding and for more how to see what our water filter looks like, let's together see this video. Okay, that's how we prepare our home DIY water filter system. This is what it's like. So our design is just a simple design, and we actually use materials that is easy to find around the house or in the housing area. So we are able to cut the cost to invent or design our filtration system. And that's all for me.
So I hope you guys have a clear vision of how to do a filtration in the house. Now let us move to the advantages and disadvantages of filter press. Firstly, the benefits of filter press is it is highly it has high filter press can filter the slurry in a very small time span. As you can see earlier, the homemade filter will need a longer time to filter the water. However, this filter press is required only a shorter time to filter the slurry. Next, the filter press formed cake of solids. It has a very low moisture content. This means the filter press is truly efficient, where it will remove more of the water content in the slurry. In addition, the filter press also is very easy and simple. It is a filter water will be flowing through operation, and they do not need any further procedures in order to operate in order to filter the slurry. Next, filter press is producing the cake of solids where it is easy to gather and transport. This is because the slurry the sludge from the filter press will be flow into a drain. The drain, it can be easily collected and transported to since it has a very high filtration velocity, we do not need a bigger or larger size of filter press, as we can filter a large amount of water in a very short time. However, although they have a very high efficiency, there are some drawbacks in the filter press, such as it is difficult when it is come to a maintenance and it requires high labor costs. This is because the sludge sometimes are removed manually, where the labor workload is needed to remove the sludge from the plate. Next, these costs are a very capital cost, where the plates are in stainless steels and they need more money to be operated and also to be installed. According in the form of hazard, filter press will produce very high noise of very noise in level, where the pump used will produce noise and it will be distracted to the labors. Finally, a filter press need a very high chemical dosage. This is because the chemical dosage are used to dispose and also to kill the microorganism in the water. Since it is a very rapid process, hence it need a very high amount of chemical to kill all the microorganism in a shorter time. Thus, these are the advantages and disadvantages of filter press. Thank you.
Okay, next moving into the product specialties. There are four product specialties in this case. First is costing. The costing of this product is really low because as doctor can see in the video, We only use recycled items only to produce the system. For example, the plastic bottles. The sand, big stones, and also small stones were just collected from the surrounding of the house only. So basically, we didn't really buy a new product, new anything extra to produce the system. So it's considered very cheap to build this product. Next is ideas. The idea of making this system is considered good because, as I mentioned just now, this system is made up from the recycled items only. And it is also considered as eco-friendly product because we reduce the plastic pollution here by recycling the plastic bottles here. Other than that, there is no harm emission while producing this product. The product also said to be easy to maintain and also user-friendly product. Moving into the usability, this product is very useful to remove the harmful and also additional particles like dirt from the water. At the same time, it's purified the water. And this filtration system can also use for emergency purpose because anything can happen anytime. For example, if water disruption occur, we can actually use this system to filter the water and remove dirt for basic needs. Let's say if we want to drink the water, we can boil the filtered water to kill the pathogens. And finally, for the practicality, this self filtration is actually widely used in the water treatment system. In the industry, there are three types of the filters. For example, gravity, upward flow, and also slow sand filters, where these filters will work effectively and produce high quality of water with 90 percentage of pathogen removal. Hence, it proved this filtration system is practical in high scale industries. So that's it from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tanisha. Now we come to the conclusion. As we learned from this presentation, filtration is performed not only to remove solid particles, but also it contributes to the overall effectiveness of water treatment process because it prevents clogs that caused by any solid particles or impurities. As we saw, like the dirt in the water or the sand or any solid particles inside it. Also, without filtration, solid particles could clog the other treatment process, causing it to shut down. Like if we have any water treatment process and we had impurities or solid that clogged the entire process, it can make a huge problem, which will make the whole process shut down. Next, please. And these are our references that we used. And this brings us to the end. I would like to thank you for your time and attention. And that's all from us today. Thank you.